with me, man.
F-A into the G, yeah, baby, the O, yeah.
You watch what you say. Fake dudes don't look my way. Yeah, you stay where you may.
F-A into the G, yeah, baby, the O.
Watch what you say. Fake dudes don't look my way. Easy, I know where you stay.
F-A into the G.
What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, hey. Bear with me, bear with the noise. It's raining hard out here, so I figured, you know what, let me just get a video off before I pull off. And get this one out. And just bring something to the light that already sheds some light on. And you always gonna have people that's gonna, oh, but I think this and that, which doesn't matter. But listen. It seemed like ever since this whole Deontay Wilder Glovegate situation, now everybody want to play Inspector Gadget. Everybody want to make claims and then act as if it's so just because they want it to be so. What am I talking about right now? Everybody is doing a story on how people keep making these claims about, oh, the Charlos, they had, they paid Rosario to throw the fight. Oh, now, here's what's crazy. I asked a simple question to somebody. It was a couple of people, but one particular person in general said, I asked, what would Rosario have to gain from throwing this fight? This dude had everything at stake, just like Jamel did. They're both trying to make history. They're both trying to put themselves in a position to be that guy, to make more money. So what would either one of them have to gain by throwing the fight? So some little dumb sap put up, duh, more money. So I put, duh, that was stupid. Listen, okay, it's crazy because it's just going to show you how simple-minded and childish people are. And I keep telling y'all, little kids, man, stop getting in grown folks' conversation. Okay? So yeah, my reply was sarcastic to this guy for running his mouth the wrong way. First off, okay, how much money do you think they would have paid this guy that would have shut him up? That, okay, I'm gonna take a dive. So what was it? Okay, first of all, you talk about, oh, the mafia got involved. So basically, if the mafia got involved, the mafia don't negotiate, bruh. Okay, this is how stupid you guys can be at times. The mafia don't negotiate. They're going to tell you what is and what isn't, and either you're going to stand up to it or you're not. So, if he took the money, then they know, like, okay, if they don't give him the money yet, then he'll cooperate. He got to take the dive first, because if he took the money up front, then he could go in there, and what if he win? And then he can call the cops, and all this bullshit. And I'm like, you see how do you see how cinematic everything gets from imagination? Y'all making these stories up like y'all have clarification that, yeah, this actually happened. So the mafia basically said, okay, Rosario, you take this dive or you'll never see the light of day again. All right? You'll be eating through a straw for the rest of your life. And Rosario decides, okay, only on one condition. Y'all gonna give me X amount of money. Okay, Rosario, we'll give it to you your way. I mean, think about what y'all say. So basically, this man want to be unified, undisputed, and he's going to go in there and throw the fight for a couple of extra dollars. Let's just say it that way, because you would have to be, if you even believe that, you'd even be stupider to believe that he have a substantial amount of money off of taking a dive. When first off, he could have won that fight, if that's the case. Okay, now he's in a position to make way more money than he even made in that fight. And he's unified. So please show me the logic in the stupid imaginary cinematic stories that y'all come up with. Then somebody even made a comment about, like Boxing Ego said that Kovalev took a dive against Canelo, but he think that this punch was legit from the Charlos. First off, I don't care what Boxing Ego said. I don't believe that Kovalev took no fucking dive against Canelo. I believe Canelo just knocked his block off. Simple. Okay? Not to mention, Kovalev was slowing down. He's 37 at the time. You think Canelo and them didn't scout that out and see that? You don't think Canelo watched him and said, you know what, I can beat this guy. I can sit up here, I've done it and pointed out several things Kovalev do wrong that even Andre Ward didn't really exploit. He did enough to win. He did what he could do to win. Andre Ward and Canelo are two different type of fighters. Nothing dominant was going on. It was back and forth. It was nothing, even though they were punching and fighting, it just wasn't much going on. Canelo finally got the knockout. You don't take a dive by letting somebody catch you with clean shots like that. Okay, so I don't care what Boxing Ego said. What he said has no effect on the truth, and what he said also has no effect on what happened between Charlo and Rosario. So to try to compare the two to make a point, just to discredit another point, that's stupid, because think about what you're saying. I mean, I understand the question of how is he saying one thing but saying something different about this. That's like because somebody say, Riddick Bowe's a bitch, then somebody's gonna say, well, Riddick Bowe's a bitch, then Holyfield's a bitch. You're only saying it because he's saying it. Like, motherfucker, like, grow up. Y'all gotta grow up with this childishness. Grow up. I don't care about all that. Y'all can keep that. I don't care what Boxing Ego said. Here's the reality. Okay, here's the reality. We don't know, okay, how hard that punch, how bad it hurt. All we know is what we saw. Now, my opinion is, I don't think it was no fucking act. I can't see what the fuck. I said this in the previous video. If somebody even said, let's just say, well, you know they didn't make no 27 million, but let's just say somebody said, okay, you're making 20 million in this fight. You throw it, we'll give you 27. See, there's a lot that goes on that you motherfuckers don't think about. Because these guys get paid in checks. Okay, checks. Not cash, checks. And you know, even like when the IRS and you do, look, they want to know where all this extra money comes. You know, when you do your taxes, this is a checks they're getting. This has to be explained. Where did this extra 7 million come from? Oh, we're going to work that under the table. So basically, he's going to be paid to take a dive, even more money, when he's already making good money in this fight. And now, in the rematch, like I said, he beats Charlo. He's going to make way more money now. Do you know what this win just did for Jermell Charlo? So do you know what it would have done for Rosario had he beat Charlo? And you really believe that he's going to go in there and fake it for a couple of extra dollars? Let's just say it like that. Let's just be real. Because if you think that he got a substantial amount of money for taking a fucking dive, first off, they obviously they don't think much of you, and you be a fucking lying piece of shit. So how the fuck would anybody have faith and trust in you in any other fight that you have? This is why when people say one thing that has nothing to do with the other, but they're using it to make an example because you want to discredit something somebody else is thinking, you let that impede your ability, okay, and leave you like mentally handicapped and impulsive to use common fucking sense to think, okay, even though this guy's saying whatever, it has nothing to do with the other. This guy Aki did a video, and it was on his channel that I did. You know, I watched Bill Haney and Gary Russell going back and forth. Does that mean every fucking time Aki says something, Aki, all of these LDBC got all of them? There's videos, like I said. Now, they make videos. A lot of shit they say I don't agree with. A lot of shit that they say I do agree with. I'm not going to dig into that because it's not necessary. But I'm not subscribed to any of those dudes. But this was a situation where clarity was brought because the people involved, this wasn't about Aki running his mouth saying what he thinks. This is about Aki got Bill and he got Gary on the phone. He got the Bill on video. Now we get to hear and see this. So it was a completely different thing. Now, because Aki did that video, does that erase all the other shit that he said and did that I don't agree with? No. And I don't need to bring any of that shit up because it doesn't matter. So it don't make a difference what this guy said and that guy said. This is the difference. And you know why it's hard for you motherfuckers to relate to me? Because I'm not a fan. And y'all are. So y'all speaking off of, I'm speaking from this right here. So I can't sit here and even feel comfortable with my decision to say, oh, he threw the fight. Why? Because the way he fell looked funny. Josh Taylor dropped somebody the same day with a body shot, and the way that dude fell looked weird. I'm not sitting here telling you, oh, Josh Taylor, that fight was a dive. Look at the way he fell. First off, I've seen strange things happen. I've seen people get hit with shots that didn't look like much was behind it, and they went down and didn't get back up. You can never understand. Okay, let me give you all an example of something, right? Do y'all remember when Nigel Benn fought, was it McClellan? And they clashed heads. Did it look that serious? Did you think that he was going to end up in the position that he's in now? Did you think that was going to happen? Did it look like that? It didn't look that serious at all. So imagine for the people that was talking shit. Because, there was people, that motherfucker quit. Oh, man, I remember the comments. Oh, he's a bitch, man. Oh, yo, he fucking quit. That motherfucker quit. Oh, he didn't want to fight. He talked all that shit. He made America look bad. And I'm like, wow. But then when it turned out that, dude went into a coma. I don't believe that. Who said he went into a coma? Only thing was, we didn't have social media at that time doing all this shit. If he doesn't go into a coma, but let's say he's going through all kinds of shit and they did something that he didn't go into a coma, they was able to prevent it, just say, how many people would have took back their statements? They'd have been saying he's a bitch because he quit. They clashed heads. You can't tell how it didn't look that serious. Shit happens. I used the example already. Mike Tyson threw a punch that clearly went the fuck over Bruce Selvins' head. I dare anybody to tell me that fuck. No, don't tell me shit. Tell yourselves. Go watch the Bruce Selvin Mike Tyson fight, and you tell me that punch fucking landed. That shit went straight over Bruce Selvins' head. Listen to how Bruce Selvin was talking. This motherfucker sounded like he was proud that he got knocked out by Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's he's a great fighter. He came out fast. He hits that hard. Even the commentators tried to, Mike hits that hard. That, right. So that man's fucking bicep knocked out Bruce Selvin. Get the fuck out of here. And this is not a shot at Mike. This is the truth. I don't give a fuck if Mike or whoever was to say, that's not, I don't give a fuck. That shit did not land. That punch went over Bruce Selvins' head. Yeah, I questioned punches. I've seen things that I questioned. And it wasn't because, and listen, I wanted Mike to knock Bruce the fuck out. Because Bruce had the belt, and it's like, okay, here's the thing. May the best man win. I'm going with Mike. Let me say it like that. I'm going with Mike to win. Put it like that. Not so much that I wanted him to knock, but, I wanted Mike to win. Okay? If Mike was sitting right here in this car, I'm like, Mike, that fucking punch went over that motherfucker's head. Now, whether Mike had something to do with it or not, now, I will say, I believe that motherfucker dropped. He was scared to get the fuck up. He pretended he was hurt and he wasn't. That's my take. That's my opinion. I can't say, it's a fact, it's a guarantee. No. I'm not going to say that because of the simple fact it didn't hit. Look. In my opinion, in my strong, humble opinion, that punch didn't land. That's a fucking fact. It's a fact that shit went over his head. Okay? If Bruce Selvins' head is that goddamn soft and tender that somebody's fucking bicep slide and graze over the top of your fucking head, the front of Mike, listen to me. This is facts. This is a fact. His glove did not do this and slide up. That fucking punch went straight over his head and his fucking bicep hit this motherfucking top of the head. That's what happened. Now that's a fact. I don't need to go through all that. I guarantee you. It's in the past, but at the same time, it's still the principles. Go look at that fight. I challenge any one of you. Go look at, don't fucking tell me what you remember. And I just looked at it not too long ago because of all this bullshit, even though I already saw it and drew that conclusion years ago. Go look at that fight and you tell yourself that fucking punch landed. That punch did not fucking land. Now, the fact that a part of his body touched, this is all I'm going to say. If Bruce Seldon can get knocked out by somebody's bicep grazing the top of his fucking head, he should have never been in a boxing ring. Now, in my opinion, that motherfucker was scared to fight Mike. All 235 pounds of muscle, fucking got hit on the top of the head with a fucking bicep. Didn't want that smoke. He was scared. He went down and pretended that he couldn't get up. He got dropped. That punch that dropped him, that went over his head, that shit did not land. Okay. On to something else. I've seen Zab Judah get hit in the fucking thigh and pretend he got hit in the balls. And when they show the replay, you see, nah, man, that shit didn't hit Zab Judah low. And guess who I wanted to win that fight? Zab Judah. That fucking punch wasn't low. I saw Bernard Hopkins get punched out of the ring against the guy that was doing construction, and he came back and Bernard pretended that he twisted his ankle and said, you know, next thing I know is David Allen Green, whatever, all over again. I'm getting pushed out the ring. Did y'all see the fight? Did you not see that was a punch that knocked him out the ring? Not a push. That guy never pushed him. He punched my Hopkins. And if you look, Hopkins went straight back. And I'm watching. His ankle didn't clip anything, not the table, nothing coming down. He went straight back. Now, it would have made more sense if he said he hit the back of his head, because we really wouldn't have a camera angle to prove that. And it could be possible coming from that height that, yeah, he's hopping around. And mind you, you know you have a 20 count, right? And you can hear the guy counting, and the ref is counting slow as shit. Hopkins is completely, he's ignoring the ref. He got his back turned. He's standing there hobbling. Like, he wants to do this animated shit so people can see, like, damn, yo, okay, his ankle fucked. In my opinion, Hopkins didn't want to get back in the ring. That's my opinion. Now, who did I want to win? Hopkins. But I'm not going to sit here and make up excuses and make lies up, man. It doesn't. What does that do for me? What does it do for Hopkins? Now, Hopkins would deny it and say, oh, nah, man, nah, my ankle was fucked. He talking about how his ankle was swole. I ain't see nothing. Just because you back there icy-ish, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. In my opinion, he just was getting beat up. He knew, damn, I can't win. So when he got knocked out the ring, you know what? Fuck it. This is what I'm going to go with. I can't stand up and walk. Whatever. Now, if he jolted and turned a certain way in the ring, and which watching what happened, I don't see where he did that. But the fact that he lied and said, next thing I know, I'm being pushed out the ring. No, you wasn't pushed out the ring. That was a punch that landed. This punch that Charlo threw landed. It hit dude right here. And I tell you what, if anybody that thinks that you can't get dropped from a body shot, even though we've seen many people get hit with body shots and it's a different effect, and most body shots are like delayed reactions, if you notice. Okay, but Rosario even got hit twice by Charlo, like kind of side, top of the head, and it was like a weird way he wobbled, okay? Look when Anthony Joshua got dropped by Andy Ruiz. Didn't he look weird the way he fell? The way Joshua, it just looked weird. So imagine people going, oh, he threw the fight for what? What the fuck would he have to gain by throwing the fight? What reason would he have? I don't understand. Look, man, that's not how you take a fucking dive. I'm going to let you punch me with your best shots, and then all of a sudden, I'm the fuck out of here. I'm going to drop with a fake body shot. That's stupid. And all of you that's trying to push that narrative doesn't change anything. You're making it seem like you're talking as if it's true, but adding all this, oh, he did it because of this and that, and because of this, and goddamn, y'all, you motherfuckers in the wrong profession, man. Whatever you're doing in your life, you're in the wrong position. Y'all need to be writing fucking movies. Because you come up with this cinematic shit about what happened and act like it's true because you're saying it. No, it's not like that. It doesn't happen that way. Just because you want it to be true. I'm saying, you know, when you're saying something is, the burden of proof is on you. And for you to say, well, there's no way I can prove it, then shut the fuck up then. Because that's exactly the point. All y'all doing is running your mouth. You're not proving nothing. You're talking. Oh man, he threw the fight because he wanted more money. They gave him extra money. Get the fuck out of here, man. You know, it's so much that happens behind the scenes in people's lives and things that happen in general in life that you guys don't even think about. You guys don't even think about that shit, man. If Rosario would be so stupid to throw a fight to get some extra money when this motherfucker would make so much more if he beat especially the fact, and look at the night itself. Charlo won. So it's like, okay, one Charlo won, one down, one up, one more to go. Oh shit, nah, Rosario was the spoiler. He beat Jamel. Did you see those punches he was throwing at Jamel? Did you see the punch? I mean, did you really believe this man? You know, let me say this. If the shit was the other way around and he hit Charlo with that same punch and Charlo went down the same way, here's the reality for y'all. All you motherfuckers that's talking about he threw the fight just because you don't like the Charlos, and listen, I'm doing a video, so I want to make it right and entertaining. I'm not at all mad or upset because of what y'all saying about the Charlos. But I'm addressing y'all. We're men, and I'm talking to you motherfuckers, okay? Simple. If Jamel got hit with that same punch and reacted the same way, you know what y'all be doing? Oh, lions only, right? Man, that's a pussycat. Bitch ass nigga got hit with a body shot and went down. If this motherfucker, what you think Canelo would do to him? What you think Rosario would do to him? What you think this one and that one would do? He's a bitch ass nigga, and y'all, yo, Charlos ain't shit. Ah ha ha, LOL, LOL. He got dropped with a body shot, and y'all know that's what y'all would have been doing. It's the fact that Charlo won, and you wanted him to lose, and that's all it is. I said already, Charlo might go out in the next fight and dominate somebody, or he might go out there and get this shit beat out of him by somebody. I don't know. I can't call that. But what I'm saying is I'm calling bullshit on these fucking claims that y'all talk about like they're facts, because you just want people to believe a narrative, because you can't just accept the fact that he went there and did what he had to do. He's the fucking man at 154, and he got all types. His stock was raised highly by this. And all that is hate. So now every time we have a fight and we don't like a fighter, we just go and question something just because. You know how many fucking fights could have been thrown or fixed that we don't know about because it didn't look thrown or fixed? You know how many fucking fighters could have been in there and just held back because, or who knows? So now we're going to get on the childish level. Nobody can beat anybody anymore. It has to be some bullshit going on. Nobody can be muscular and in shape without taking steroids. Nobody can fucking do anything in life and achieve something great without cheating. It's always like, oh, when it's somebody you don't like, oh, this guy did this and that, and how the fuck could he do this all of a sudden? How could he do that all of a sudden? I've heard motherfuckers sit here and say Tyson Fury was punching like George Foreman the night he fought Deontay Wilder. Let me tell you, imbecile, something. If that motherfucker had George Foreman's punching power with them clean shots that he hit Deontay Wilder with, Deontay Wilder would have been knocked the fuck out. Not no TKO. That motherfucker, did you see them clean? You think George Foreman, okay, so listen to what you're saying. So imagine George Foreman hitting him with them same shots. Could you picture George landing them same punches and Deontay Wilder standing up there taking that shit? So what are you talking about? He was hitting like George Foreman. No, he was putting his 273 pounds behind his shots. Okay, now coming forward, he can put his weight on his shots. He knows how to sit down on his punches now. He's not going backwards. You're not coming forward to outbox a guy. You're coming forward to knock a guy out. That's what he's trying to do. So yeah, he's hitting them with power shots, and he's hitting them often. If he had anything close to George Foreman's power, you think that Deontay Wilder would stand there and take them bombs from George Foreman? So listen to your words. End of the day, all of the hate don't change anything. I'm not taking up for the Charlos because I like the Charlos. Okay? I'm not even taking up for the... what I'm doing is I'm challenging your logic. You're not making any sense. And for Boxing Ego to say that, Kovalev took a dive and give his... Okay, whatever reason he believed, whatever, that's his reason. I don't believe that bullshit. I don't believe Kovalev took no fucking dive. I believe, like I said, he's 37. You know, he's an Asian warrior. And basically, Canelo felt comfortable and that he could beat him. He went in there and he beat him. Okay, just like Miguel Cotto. No different from Miguel Cotto fighting Sergio Martinez. What did him and Freddie Roach say? They both said Sergio Martinez, even though he's the champ, remember, he had the title. He slowed down. He didn't look good in his last 3 fights, and we think we got him right where we need him, so why not? They both said that. Cotto said it. Yeah, he's not the same fighter. I think, no, it's a good time to, I beat the fight. I win. You know, he's not the same fighter. So, we didn't hear Canelo say that, right? But you don't think that they strategized that way? Sugar Ray Leonard said he was sitting at a Marvin Hagler fight. And I think it was his brother. He said he leaned over and told his brother, man, I think I can beat this guy, man. I think I can beat this guy. So what did Sugar Ray Leonard do? Now this came from Sugar Ray Leonard's mouth. This is not Aries telling you a story. This is Aries telling you what Sugar Ray Leonard said. And he invited Marvin Hagler to a party at his house, and he's asking Marv, so how's things going with the fights, man? And Marv is frustrated. He's telling him, man, I don't know, man. I can't get the fights I want, man. I'm trying to, you know, he wanted bigger names, right? Sugar Ray Leonard is sitting there buttering them up, feeding them, wining them, dining them, and got him thinking like, yeah, you know, I'm with you. I support you, brother, you know. And then all of a sudden, Sugar Ray Leonard, without notifying Hagler, goes on nationwide TV and tell the world he's coming out of retirement to fight Marvelous Marvin Hagler. So yeah, this pissed Hagler off, but why did Sugar Ray do that? Because now I feel like I can beat him. And so Marvin Hagler felt some kind of way towards Sugar Ray for that. Now, also, what happened in sparring, this is all coming from Sugar Ray Leonard, not from Aries Zodiac. Sugar Ray said in sparring, he got knocked out by his sparring partner a week before the fight. His whole team is going, damn, man, you got knocked out by your sparring partner. How you going to beat Marvin Hagler? And he said getting knocked out by his sparring partner was the best thing that happened to him out of all his training to prepare him for that fight. Why? Because he said because the way he saw Marv and Marv didn't look the same, he was going to actually go in there and slug and go toe-to-toe with Marvin Hagler. And that woke him up and made him think, you know what? I think I need the boxing move. I think I'm underestimating Marv. And that's what he did. He sat down on his punches when he needed to. He boxed and moved when he needed to. He came in, he came out. He did what he had to do to win. Throw one hard shot, hold. You know, he did what he needed to do. You would think that Sugar Ray Leonard, being the seasoned fighter that he was, that he would learn from fighting Duran the wrong way the first time, right? But it's because he thought Marv slowed down. And his sparring partner knocked him out. Now, if you go back years before that, when Sugar Ray said everybody got up and made that announcement, and Marv sitting there smiling and clapping because he thought that Sugar Ray was going to announce that they were going to fight, what did Sugar Ray say? Sugar Ray said, I know that the world want to see me and this great man, this great champion, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, go at it one-on-one. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I came here to announce my retirement. Fuck Marvin Hagler's whole world up. So when did he decide he wanted to fight him? When he realized, or when he felt like he slowed down. And in my opinion, that's the same thing that Canelo did. Canelo could have went up and fought Benavidez. Yeah, there's other guys he fought. He could have fought. There's guys out here, I mean, everybody keeps talking about they want to see him in Jarrett Hurd. They want to see him in Benavidez, right? They want to see him in the Charlo. But what did he do? Now, people said Floyd Mayweather fought guys when they were either too young or too old. Here's the funny thing. How old was Floyd when he fought Canelo? 34, 35? Which I don't consider old, but a lot of fighters are washed up at 34 and 35. Floyd wasn't, though. But again, they thought Canelo was going to be too young, too strong. Floyd wasn't going to be there handling him. So basically, they thought Floyd was an Asian fighter that Canelo was just going to be too much for. How old was Triple G when he fought him? 35, 36? How old was Kovalev? 37. So the biggest wins, well, he lost to Floyd, but the biggest wins of his career came by who? Most notable, 2 older fighters. Out of everybody he's beat, people praise him more because for one, he went all the way to 175 to fight Kovalev, and he beat him. So when you're going to sit here and talk about, oh, this guy took a dive and this guy did this, and we can all sit and look at shit. And we can sit here and use our imaginations, or we can assume shit. But all of this hate simply because you don't like these 2 guys, which really, like I said, I don't care personally that you don't like, but it's like when you guys engage in conversation with me, talk like grown men. Don't come at me with all this bullshit that you talking because you talking from your feelings, man. You talking like you know. You don't know. You don't, like I always say, we're not there to know what happens behind closed doors. But understand something. If you look at the logic in this whole shit, because you think he took a dive and he got paid off, where's your fucking proof for that? Because it's not an answer, dumbass. Because, man, look at what happened. No, look. You know, with this whole Wilder Fury thing, remember when people were saying that, oh, the farmer got paid off? Let me give y'all another fact. There was not one fucking piece of paper or phone conversation or information given from anybody that said he paid the farmer off to lie or keep quiet. Then it was also said that, oh, they threatened the farmer. They physically threatened the farmer. Where did this come from? Again, nope. This came from people making up shit. Oh, then they say he threatened the photographer. Now, what I'm saying is, I'm not at all saying Tyson Fury's above cheating, or I don't know this man personally. Here's what I'm saying. You make a claim, prove it. Where is your information coming from? And in reality, and another fact, it's not coming from no fucking source that, it's coming from he said, she said. That's what it's coming from. Y'all understand the difference, right? Example, by the time y'all watch this video and you sit and watch it, you can sit here and say, yo, Aries had on a fucking camouflage hat in that video. Somebody could be like, nah, it was the other one. You want to know what, though? It can be proven. It's no longer hearsay when you can pull that video up and say, see, look, I told you. It's the video he's talking about the Charlos and talking about people saying that it was a fixed fight. He got a, okay? So there may be other videos Aries had on a camouflage hat, but guess what? You can prove your claim. But when you sit here and make shit up, okay, you make shit up, and let's just see, I'm at an angle where you couldn't see my hat, and you say he had on a camouflage hat. Why? Because in another video he had on a camouflage hat. Well, that was another video. How you know he had one on this? You know why I give these simple analogies? Because simple-minded people, that's all y'all understand. You can't make, look, you're not going to make anybody, well, put it like this. You can't make anybody believe anything. People choose to believe what they want. Reality is, when you make these ridiculous, stupid, childish, elementary claims, but you're sitting up here saying facts, 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 facts about opinions. The facts I'm giving you, like when I say Mike Tyson's glove never touched his head. When that knocked down, when he dropped straight, no, that shit went straight over Bruce Seldon's head, man. It went straight over his head. That's a fact. And when you slow that shit down and watch it in slow motion, you clearly see that shit went straight over Bruce Seldon's head. That punch that Wilder landed, when Malik Scott pretended that he was so shaken up and couldn't get up, he didn't want to get up. I don't think he took a dive. And people were saying that, oh, nah, man, he took a dive just to make Wilder look good. Now, let's say if that's the case. I wouldn't know that, right? But I can say, for me, what I believe was the same shit with Bruce Seldon. Malik Scott didn't want to get the fuck up because he didn't want to get hit with that right hand. And he stayed the fuck down. I don't think it was a dive. Now, that's me personally. I'm telling you, I don't think it was a dive. But at the same time, again, why are we questioning shit just because we don't like people? I don't dislike any of these guys personally. I don't know them personally to dislike them. But what I'm telling you is if all we're going to sit here and do is debate on some petty bullshit, cinematic, dramatic, soap opera shit, I'm not with it. Y'all can have it. Anyway, shout out to damn, I lost my train of thought, man. Can't tell y'all what's going on right now. Anyway, shout out to Boxing Profits. support his channel. You know, shout out to Red Glove Militant, support his channel. Generals in this game, they doing their thing. Listen, never fall in love with lies. And remember, the truth brings the hate out of people. That's all I'm going to say on this video. Catch y'all on the next one.